restorers. I need to talk to you about something. I was in Dallas, Texas, for the annual Restoration Industry Association, also known as the RIA Annual Convention, Trade Show, Expo Extravaganza. I was standing in front of a branded RIA sign minding my own business, and I was attacked.
Rise and shine, ladies. This is Drill Sergeant Cross, ordering your sorry butt to enlist in the Restoration Crossjack RIA Pre-Convention Strategic Strikes Boot Camp.
I just wanted a cup of convention coffee and to enjoy a little peace in between sessions, and this character named Sgt Ed was relentless.
You say you have the will to bring your restoration business to the next level, but do you have the power?
No one came to my rescue. No one would help me, so I mustered the strength to turn the tables.
Hi, this is the DYOJO podcast.
DYOJO podcast.
Hi.
JoJo.
Hi.
Podcast.
Hi.
Podcast. This is not a game, cupcake.
The marketing Ed and his team did for the Restoration Cross-Check pre-convention boot camp was pretty slick. If you didn't see it, go back and check it out on their YouTube page. So how did the boot camp go? I love the advertisements you did for Sgt Ed in the boot camp.
The boot camp was really a lot of fun. The people got subjected to Sgt Ed. He is hard. He is mean. You will not like him.
Stop picking fly out of pepper. The boot camp trains you to identify high-value targets.
Sold out?
Sold out, yeah.
First event of its kind for your cross-check team, right?
First one marketed as a boot camp,
Nice.
Yes. And we've got another one coming up in September in Las Vegas at the Experience Convention. And if people don't sign up in advance, they're going to get turned away because this one sold out and people were kind of bummed out when they couldn't get in. So.
Sign up in advance.
This is not a game, cupcake.
Before we get into this episode, let's do a little recap, just in case you missed it. For those of you that missed it, of last episode 116, titled, What Do Customers Know? Really? What do customers know?
Do right.
Do right by the customer.
It's not promoting the idea that the customer knows best,
I'm telling all my friends not to shop here.
because often they don't, and going down that avenue doesn't lead to the better project outcome. So letting the structure speak, following the standard, knowing your role in the restoration triangle, and executing from that standpoint.
Just can't please people.
Must therefore be impossible.
JoJo.
Hi.
Podcast.
Hi.
Podcast. Podcast.
So we have a few current events to address. This is interesting. I got a news release from Encircle and EcoClaim. Property claims insurance industry trends suggest that service level agreements between contractors and carriers will soon require waste diversion tracking. Encircle and EcoClaim have partnered to enable restoration contractors to track the sustainability metrics that will soon be required of them. I think this is a little bit interesting. We did mention in last episode, we're called property restoration, but how many times are we restoring things as opposed to just ripping them out and replacing them?
You're sorry, but
There's times when restoration, we should be living up to our name, and this isn't interesting. This could be coming down, whether it's in the form of credits and those kinds of things that a lot of the builders have to deal with. We'll link to this press release in the blog post that accompanies this episode, but might be a good time to get ahead of something for you and your team. Those of you that weren't there at the Restoration Industry Association annual convention,
you done messed up, AA Ron.
Face the Advocate with Ed Cross.
This is not a game, cupcake.
Jonathan Mico, who's the president of Managed Repair for Alacrity Services, he actually mentioned from the stage an article in the Wall Street Journal. It's titled, Insurers Are Spying on Your Home from the Sky. This one says companies are using drones to check out roofs or to spot yard debris and undeclared trampolines. I guess trampolines are a high-risk item. It's not pulling up for me right now. I have to pay for the article. Need you to sponsor us. Can we get an article fee sponsor?
Yes.
The summary being how insurers are using technology. On the pessimistic side, we see it quite a bit. Maybe people are underinsured or the insurance company's not doing their due diligence on the front end to make sure a property is properly insured. I know a lot of people are choosing insurance based on the cheapest rates, but not fully understanding or discussing with their agent what that means, or even if their agent is doing their due diligence.
Predators.
We'll touch on that TPA panel, which had members from Contractor Connection, Alacrity, Sedgewick, and Westhill on the stage at RAA, which was very informative and interesting. As I'm recording this, there was a new newsletter that came out from RAA. The Advocacy and Government Affairs Committee, or AGA, announces the release of new position statements. These are designed to be consensus documents that help you have some solid rebuttals against many of the things that contractors feel are legitimate, in relationship to how they conduct their business, and maybe need some assistance in either explaining that to the carriers, the TPAs, and the third-party consultants.
When you start complicating the claim.
So these include things like claims handling position statement number 1, carrier's duty to communicate with contractor, the TPA position statement number 5, deviations from carrier/TPA guidelines.
Yes.
There's a link to the video on how to use position paper statements and other news that is coming up as the RAA various volunteer-led initiatives are researching and finding ways to help contractors. So just a little plug for membership and some of the benefits that come with being a part of our industry's association. We want to thank our sponsor.
I will not bow to any sponsor.
Epic Estimates. Any estimate, anywhere, anytime. Let the award-winning Epic Estimates help your team write the next Xactimate or Symbility estimate, freeing your team up to do what they're good at while helping your business maximize productivity and profitability. The Restoration Industry Association. Connect and collaborate with your industry peers through the largest nonprofit professional trade association dedicated to the unique plight of restoration contractors. Join us April 8th through 10th, 2024 in Dallas, Texas for the RIA Convention and Industry Expo. Actionable Insights has built the Actionable Xactimate profile, which provides live estimating guidance while you work in Xactimate to help your estimating team avoid costly mistakes. Create accurate, more complete estimates with the Actionable profile. It's a no-brainer for anyone looking to upgrade their Xactimate estimating workflow. No more estimating mistakes, no more missed line items. How to Suck Less at Estimating, Habits for Better Project Outcomes, book number 4 by John Isaacson. This is available in paperback as well as an interactive course available through our friends at Restoration Technical Institute. Gain valuable insights on setting your estimating team up for success, processes and procedures for good sketches, detailed photo documentation for claims, how to level up as an estimator, and field resources such as using Xactimate for materials list and budgeting. By taking the 6-module course, again through our friends at Restoration Technical Institute, you can gain 6 hours of self-paced instruction that are eligible for continuing education credits with the IICRC. Thank you to our sponsors. Please let them know that you heard about them on the DYOJO podcast.
You have entered the DYOJO podcast.
You'll have to excuse the background noise. I actually think it's cool because we were recording in between sessions live from Dallas. And so there's a little bit of extra background noise than maybe you're used to, but you're just going to have to deal with it.
Cupcake!
What about the win? We just got done with the RIA Town Hall. We're here at RIA Expo 2024. We had robust conversation, I think is the word of the day, right?
Robust discussion.
With Verisk on stage correcting some things in real time that impacted contractors.
Yes, I think it went well. And so for those of you who don't know what John is referring to.
Those of you that missed it.
Yes, for those of you who aren't here in Dallas, the Xactimate user license agreement contains some really super important information for restorers that they need to use to kind of level the playing field when they're dealing with adjusters who try to use Xactimate as if it were the Ten Commandments.
Yeah.
Stop picking fly out of pepper!
And so there's provisions in the agreement which explain what the intent of Xactimate is, that it is historical data, that it's intended to provide a baseline or the starting point to begin the preparation of an estimate, that the users are responsible for making sure that the estimates that they create are using prices that are consistent with the actual market values, which may or may not be the Xactimate prices, and furthermore, it said that the Xactimate prices may be higher or lower than what the actual market value is.
Just to recap before we proceed, I think most restorers, restoration contractors would agree these 4 points are very important. For those of you that missed it, those who aren't aware what the exactware, the Verisk user agreement is, these items are ones that you'll want to confirm you understand.
Historical data, yes, I know the starting point to begin the preparation of an estimate, yes, are using prices that are consistent with the actual market values, yes, the Xactimate prices may be higher or lower than what the actual market value is, yes. Well, on Friday night, before I was getting ready to come out here to Dallas, I went on to look at the Xactimate user license agreement, which you can find by typing into your browser Xactware license agreement. Those provisions were gone.
Yeah.
In fact, the agreement had been modified 1 week ago today, on April 2nd, and I'm like, where are all of these provisions? They're gone.
No notification. Yeah.
So we are in regular communication with the leadership at Verisk, and we are grateful for the working relationship that we have with them.
Yeah.
However, in this particular instance, we were unaware that these key provisions had been removed from the license agreement.
Not good.
Restorers use these provisions frequently in their communications with adjusters. We have our restoration cross-check clients include that language in preemptive letters that they send to adjusters. They include it in their opening statement that's on an estimate that has customized pricing in it. It's really important stuff, and we needed it to be in there. Gone. I contacted the RIA leadership, had some communications with some key players on the pricing task force, which led to a Saturday evening call with Mr. Aaron Brunko, who is the president of Verisk Property Estimating Solutions. And it was what I would call robust. Dialogue.
Robust dialogue.
Robust dialogue. And so he agreed to restore those provisions back into the agreement and put it back. Well, by this time, there was already some activity on social media. People were typing, oh my goodness, what has happened? This stuff is gone. Where did it go? What's the reason for this? A lot of restorers are concerned. They want to feel that they've got good representation from Verisk.
Or at least non-detrimental.
Right. So he agreed to have that language put back in there. And I said, now we need to explain this to the membership. And I realized it's really short notice. Now, mind you, this was Saturday evening, and the convention is starting on Tuesday morning. I said, we need you to come to Dallas.
I have exorcised the demons.
Are you planning to come to the convention? No, I wasn't planning to be there. I said, are you available Tuesday? No, I've got plans. I said, can you change your plans, get on a plane, and come to Dallas so you can address the membership here? They need to hear from you. They need to hear your explanation as to what happened. And he worked with his schedule, thankfully, and he agreed to come, and he came up on stage today.
For those of you that missed it.
And he explained what had happened. He apologized to the restoration industry. That really meant a lot. He explained that language has been restored. It's now back in the agreement, so when you go online, you will see
this house is clear.
That the Xactimate prizes are intended to be a baseline to begin the preparation of an estimate, and it's your responsibility as the user, whether you're a contractor or an adjuster, to ensure that the prices you are using are consistent with the actual market values for prices that are out there, and that Xactimate prices are not intended to be used globally. There are exceptions, and he confirmed that in some instances, restorers should customize their prices using something that's different from the Xactimate price. And there are insurance adjusters out there who don't fully grasp these concepts.
JoJo!
Hi.
Podcast!
Hi.
Podcast! Podcast!
Christmas is upon you and you still haven't found that perfect gift for that special someone on your Christmas list? You need John Isaacson's new book, So You Want to Be a Project Manager. Forget about chocolates and perfume and jewelry. The person who said that diamonds are a girl's best friend didn't read John Isaacson's new book. It's everything you want in a gift. It has a cover, it has pages, it has a beginning, a middle, and an end. Show her you really love her with John Isaacson's new book, So You Want to Be a Project Manager.
This is not a game, cupcake!
Now, you are an expert estimator. What has your experience been with adjusters and their impression of the meaning and the intent of Xactimate?
Just, it depends.
I knew it. People are right. This guy is just an Xactimate apologist. Okay, I mean, this is complete hogwash.
If we're even dealing with adjusters anymore, a lot of times it's claims reviewers who oftentimes know even less about, what it takes to put something together. So it is helpful to be able to point to those things, the position papers, and gives you a lot more information to present to them. So it's not just one contractor complaining about it, but this is the force of the industry saying, this is right, and these are the reasons for those objections. So
we really appreciate the ongoing dialogue that we have with the people at Verisk. Very thankful to Aaron Brunko for changing his plans and coming here to Dallas.
For those of you that missed it, back in May of 2023, our friend Michelle Blevins at CNR Magazine also had Aaron Brunko, Verisk's newly promoted President of Property Estimating Solutions, formerly known as Xactware. And she asked some pretty good questions, and they had a good dialogue. So let's retouch on that.
What is Verisk's overall take on integrations?
Our intention is to be open within the ecosystem. We want to take a more aggressive approach and proactive approach by seeking out opportunities.
To hear, because I know many companies have said in the past it's been difficult to crack the code or even feel like there was an opportunity to integrate systems that would speak to multiple platforms utilizing Xactimate.
We still have that responsibility. So they do have to be secure. They have to create value in the ecosystem. And so it's a matter of trying to find that balance of checking those, the various boxes.
Makes sense.
Talk through some of the updates that Verisk or Xactware has put into place in the last few years to help better keep up with pricing.
Okay, Michelle, we see you. Definitely asking some of the tougher questions.
One of the things that I think is really important is training and communication.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Watley and I did a presentation a couple of weeks ago at RIA, and I think the opening slide was something to the tune of, with lack of information, you generally come to your own conclusions, and they're typically not in a positive light.
Oh, sorry. While I was watching this podcast, I was reviewing this book, How to Suck Less at Estimating Habits for Better Project Outcomes by Jonathan L. Isaacson. Oh, that's me.
Cupcake!
And one of our friends from, the other side, the adjusting side, Matthew Allen, who is the founder and executive producer at Adjuster TV, he said, John should write a new book and just have 10,000 pages where only this sentence appears once in the middle of every page. Quote, the quality of the data inputs composed estimate is in direct correlation to the quality of the data captured. End quote. John once again knocks it out of the park. In this book, Be Intentional Estimating, and even elements of So You Want to Be a Project Manager, I think we try to capture what he's talking about, and basically is if you're not doing your part and you want to blame somebody else.
Let's start with some tough love. You suck.
Excited to announce that our best-selling book, How to Suck Less at Estimating Habits for Better Project Outcomes by John Isaacson, the Intentional Restorer, is now available. This is a full color. It's got diagrams. This book is also a course available online through our friends at Restoration Technical Institute, rtilearning.com. This course has 6 modules which reflect the 6 chapters in this book. If you sign up for the course, you get a free PDF copy that is designed to correspond with the course, How to Suck Less at Estimating. This book is available on Amazon.
It's true.
The more that we can communicate with the industry, our objective is to provide transparency. And then if that price doesn't meet the local needs, provide feedback and change the price.
It can be done. It's been proven to be done in several markets. It takes time. It's not like you submit one estimate and it turns over.
This is a slow process.
Yeah.
We didn't get here overnight. We're not going to get out of it overnight.
Yeah.
But we're pleased and we're grateful to them for talking to us.
Right. This is an open market. You can determine what your price is.
What's funny is some people say, "Hey, Aaron Bronco at Verisk Xactimate said I can say whatever my price is, whatever I want."
Somebody can choose whether they accept that price.
Oh, Aaron Bronco, just when I thought I liked you, dang it!
And maybe push back on it.
Even if you took insurance out of the equation, I might still have to negotiate and explain things to people. Shoot!
But that's really not our place, is to say whether somebody should or should not, in an open market, accept a price.
Aaron Bronco, you are right and you are wrong. All we're asking is that you don't shoot us in the foot over there at Verisk.
We provide the research, the publication, and then the transparency, and let the rest occur in the market.
I think if you're mad at Xactimate for destroying your business, go back and listen to what he's saying. It's hard to argue with the objective portions of what he's saying. Shoot! And the encouraging thing from this conversation, and then Aaron being there at RIA, changing his schedule, wanting to come out, that they value the opinions and the consumer-customer relationship with contractors. I think that's what a lot of contractors have felt, is like, we are a significant portion of your business as well, and many times it feels like you don't step up to the plate when we need your help. So it sounds like at least those conversations are happening. And in this case, I think they made a big change to correct something and hear the voice of contractors. Ed Cross got on his bat phone and rung them up.
Cupcake!
Those are good things. Everybody's got a business to run, and they run it the way they see fit. If you're blaming people for your problems,
you suck.
It's probably not the best way to do business, but there's conversation to be had, and people are showing up in the right places vis-a-vis RIA and those kinds of things where our collective voice is being heard.
great story, compelling and rich.
Thank you for tuning in to the DYOJO podcast. We hope you were informed.
Yeah, so I've learned something here.
And entertained.
Are you not entertained?
DYOJO.com/podcast.
You can buy John a beer, you can support the show, or you can buy one of the books I've written, the last one being How to Suck Less at Estimating.
What am I supposed to do with that?
And you can find them on Amazon.
There's nothing like it out there.
So what was exciting for those of you that missed it? Being in Dallas with our restoration industry friends and peers, it was again a record-breaking attendance. The membership is increasing. There was new vendors, new people at the show. I think over 30% of the people there were first-time attendees. And so hearing that, I was thinking, man, how some people might be surprised to know I'm a little bit of an introvert myself. So here's a little bit of what I tried to do to get out of my shell and try to reach out to people to also make them feel included to the best of my ability. Would you agree that trade shows are an excellent way to expand your knowledge and your professional network, but they also can be socially awkward?
You have entered the DYOJO podcast.
As the host of a construction podcast listened to by tens, if not dozens, people I meet are often surprised to find that I can be introverted. But whether you are outgoing or feel socially awkward,
What the hell are we doing here, Harry?
I think it's important to know that most professionals have the same struggles. It's awkward to walk into a room full of people and have to be the first one to say, "Hi, I'm John. I'm from Tacoma. Tacoma is south of Seattle. Actually, if you want to get into the weeds, I'm from Puyallup. Most people say it's Puyallup, and it's east of Tacoma, which is south of Seattle." So this year, for the Restoration Industry Association, RIA, annual convention, trade show, expo, extravaganza, I wanted to be more than just an attendee. I wanted to be more than just an observer. I wanted to participate and contribute. So
Baby steps. Baby steps.
I set a goal to try to meet a member from every state. So if you had some random person come up to you saying,
"Hi, I'm trying to meet a member from every state."
That was me. If you're finding me now, hello again. So here's the results of my efforts. I did not hit every state, but I hit quite a few of them. And I was mostly trying to meet new people that I hadn't met before or people that I hadn't actually met in person. If you want to see those results, I created a video on YouTube embracing the social awkwardness of industry trade shows, or you can read about it in the CNR magazine article by the same name. I created a collage of all of those that I met and took pictures with. Feel free to check that out on the social medias, tag yourself, send me an email. I'd love to keep in touch, but that was fun. I'm going to try to do the same thing again next year, and maybe we'll partner up with CNR Magazine to create something a little more formal to make it a challenge. Hope to see you next year at the Restoration Industry Association Annual Convention and Industry Expo, and as well as other industry events locally, regionally, and nationally. Please feel free to share this, use it. Maybe don't try to meet a member in every state, but force yourself to meet 6 new people every day or something to that effect. Elevate your attendance to participation and participation to contributor. And I think you'll get a lot more out of these types of events, as well as find ways to move yourself through the social awkwardness, especially if you're a first timer.
We really appreciate the ongoing dialogue that we have with the people
Robust.
at Verisk. Very thankful to Aaron Brunko for changing his plans and coming here to Dallas. We have bi-monthly meetings. The pricing task force and I have bi-monthly meetings with the senior leadership at Verisk, as well as the senior leadership at CoreLogic, where we bring contractors' concerns to their attention. Say, hey, here are some issues, and can you guys please take a look at these? This is a slow process. We didn't get here overnight. We're not going to get out of it overnight. But we're pleased and we're grateful to them for talking to us.
This was actually a fairly short video that I recorded with Ed, but I'm probably going to turn this into 2 episodes because the next part of what he talks about kind of touches on the history of the AGA, the Advocacy and Government Affairs Committee. So we'll close this out with some of the comments about Ed, the volunteer-led AGA Pricing Committee, which is a group of people that really work with Xactimate, Verisk, and other elements related to what contractors are facing as they try to price their work appropriately, and some of those battles. And a lot of the work for these position papers comes out of those volunteer hours. For those of you that missed it, a lot of headway since 2019 and the AGA inception.
Wow, And Mark Springer did such a fantastic job this morning, kind of recounting the history and talking about all of the things, the crises and the emergencies, the different things that have happened over the years. And it was kind of a nostalgic moment.
This is not a game, Cupcake!
What the industry needs is conversations like this.
Thursdays are for
DYOJO podcast.
What are you, stupid?
Mindset change.
Helping contractors shorten their dang learning curve.
Once you get to the point where you're not willing to listen or not willing to learn, you pound sand.
DYOJO podcast.
This is the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
This is complete hogwash.